feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank.
Hello and welcome to the video wrap-up show for the Shrimp Tank in Seattle. I'm Dan Whedon, and I'm joined by my co-host, James Alberson. We had a fascinating and fun conversation today with Doug Peterson. Doug is founder of Get Priorities Straight, LLC in Seattle. Now listen, to catch the entire episode, which we recommend, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find all our episodes on our website at shrimptankpodcast.com/Seattle.
So, Doug, on the show, you brought up an interesting stat, somewhat sobering stat, as it related to individuals or households that make $150,000 a year, above that, and then also below that. Can you revisit that for us?
Yeah, it's surprising, but people, over 25% of households making $150,000 or more don't have an emergency fund. They don't have any cash set aside. And we don't call credit cards an emergency fund because that's debt to deal with an emergency. But the group between 100 and 150,000, over 35% don't have an emergency fund. So it's a big number.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
You know, one thing we did not touch on, which I think is an important fact, is that there's a lot of folks, especially in that income range, who also want to give. They have charities that they support, nonprofits. They want to set aside giving for the future. That takes budgeting too. So talk a little bit about that personal reward and how to have a mindset around cash flow can help in that giving.
Yeah, and you know, it may sound like semantics, but I think intentional spending plan makes a lot more sense than a budget, which sounds a lot like a diet instead of eating great food that'll make you feel great and look great, right? So the idea is being very intentional, deciding what's important. And I have clients making all the way up to $850,000 a year who have downsized their house because they wanted to be the biggest donors in their church. They wanted to make a difference in their community. They want to manage their overhead, so it just doesn't grow for the sake of growth, because it's very easy to grow. So just by not paying attention. So being intentional about where your money goes and deciding where it goes before you spend it allows you to make really good decisions. And for the people that are trying to get out of debt or trying to grow their own peace of mind, it works exactly the same way.
So, Doug, I know that people, even after listening to this little wrap-up show, or definitely after listening to the podcast, they're going to want to get in touch with you. I know you're going to kind of rattle loose some thoughts where they have to get their finances or their cash flow situation together. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Well, the easiest, it'll take you right to my calendar, is schedulewithdoug.com. And you can schedule a 20 or 40-minute meeting, and we can just have a conversation and see what makes sense.
Okay, sounds good. Well, Doug, hey, thanks so much for being our guest on the podcast. We want to encourage everybody to go back and listen to the replay. You can find the replay at shrimptankpodcast.com/Seattle, or you can go to whatever your favorite podcast platform is, iHeart, Apple, Spotify, Google. We're ubiquitous, as Dan likes to say. And please also follow us on our social media pages on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram.
Well, to Doug and James, both of you, thank you very much. And what James said is right. You got to go like us on Facebook, because we live stream from there. And our next live stream will be on August 11th. Our guest is going to be former Seattle Seahawks safety Jordan Babineau, talking about his new book, Pivot to Win, as well as his business. So the best way to do that, go to Facebook and follow us there, because every week at 12 p.m. Pacific, we live stream just like we did today. So please visit us there. Now listen, until we meet again, until we see you again, be healthy, be prosperous, and have fun, because for right now, the shrimp is back in the tank. So long.
I've been feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond.